Is it working? It doesn't appear to be. Maybe I'm too early. Hey guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Angle Guys. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast. Not the daily forecast. Sorry, I haven't filmed the daily forecast for tomorrow yet. I'm starting with the Tarotscopes to try and get these knocked out. I got 6 done yesterday. I would love to get the other 6 done today. I will do my best. But today we are starting with the fire signs, all fired up and ready to go, as they say. We are working, starting with Leo, then going around the horoscope. So we'll go from Leo to Sag and then to Aries last, because Aries got to start off 2 months ago because we were in Aries season. So we are going to do the fire signs at this time while I'm fresh and wide awake. This is for Leo, for anybody with a sun, moon, or rising in the sign of Leo, or if you have heavily placed planets in Leo. So I would consider 3 or more planets to be heavily placed. So if you have 3 of your planets are in the sign of Leo, you may want to watch this. It could be an indication of what type of a June you might be having. It is a broad spectrum reading, so I speak in broader terms so that it can sort of apply to various situations for various different Leos. You need to take what I say and figure out where it best fits in your life. If I'm resonating with you and making sense to you, certainly feel free to do with it what you will. Take what you need and leave the rest. But if it doesn't make sense for any reason, or it doesn't sound like anything that's going on with your life, that's completely fine. It may not be your reading, right? In the sense that there are so many different factors in not only tarot, but also in astrology, like the houses that your planets were in when you were born, all of that sort of stuff. It can't all necessarily land or hit. So don't worry. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong, Leo. You're just maybe working on something different or on a different trajectory. So keep that in mind. We do have a daily forecast here every day. If you check out the drop-down menu there, if you're interested in a private reading, all of that information, all my social media information, and things I want you to think about when watching any of my videos is included in there. So please check one of those out. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it out with other Leos or people that might find it interesting. If you're a cross-watcher, feel free to look at your significant other sign. You can see what kind of a month they might have. If you know your sun, moon, and rising, you can look at all 3 of those, depending on if they have different signs, and maybe gather what, collectively between the 3 readings, what you might be getting in the month of June. Beyond that, if you're completely new to me and you're not subscribed to the channel, consider doing so. I could use the subscriptions and the support. As a new channel, I've been around for a couple of years, and it's been kind of slow going, so trying to build it up, and we love having new people. You can join us every day for the daily forecast. So let's see what's going on here. This first card is from Kim Kranz's Animal Spirit Oracle, and this is kind of like what I call the signifier card. It's sort of like a guide for the month, possibly a attribute, something that Leo either needs to nurture within themselves or focus upon or best utilize. It's that sort of a vibe. So we'll see what comes up for Leo, for their animal. So we have Nightingale. I don't know much about nightingales, unfortunately. I mean, it is a bird, which I'm okay with. It's an air animal, right? We have the air symbol up here, and air feeds fire. So that to me is beneficial. When I think of nightingales, I think of, what's the word? That nurse, Florence Nightingale. So there could be some sort of healing going on. Let me just see what it says really quick for Nightingale. I'm not going to read the whole story. I just want to know kind of what the premise is for Nightingale. There's a few words there that that they start the chapter off with. So I want to see what kind of stands out there. But to me, I kind of want to go with the idea of Florence Nightingale and sort of caring for ourselves. Let me see here. Where is Nightingale? Come on, Nightingale. Don't be hiding from me now, damn it. Why is it not? Nightingale. Fearless voice, speech, communication, or song. So nightingales might be known for their song. I'm more about healing. Let's see let's see what's going on with the tarot cards for you guys. This could be about speaking your truth or singing your song in only your Leonine way. This could be about rejuvenation or excitement for new shifts and changes. Hence why this like Nightingale is kind of sitting on top of what I've perceived to be like a little earth, right? Maybe things are shifting on the planet and Leo is feeling that shift and is excited about that shift. There could be the aspect of healing that I like about this is there could be a healing that's going on with Leo's relationship to how they are in their world. This COVID stuff has been a real bummer for everyone, but I would imagine with as sociable and as gregarious and as generous and loving as Leo can be, it's probably been a little extra hard on the Leos, right? Because you guys aren't necessarily allowed to be out there garnering the sort of interaction and social stuff that you guys like to normally do, and that where's your natural sort of set point. So maybe this is the kind of hearkening in or the singing in of the new dawn that's about to take place or change for you guys. So there could be a shift happening here with this Nightingale, and I kind of like that. And that shift should bring about not only an excitement for my Leos, right? That's why this Nightingale is singing, but also a healing in essence, right? Because things are starting to look better, right? They're worth getting excited about. They're worth singing a song about, right? And from that song, or from that generosity, whatever, you've got to use the term song loosely, right? If that song for you is, if the way that you sing your song as a Leo is by being, giving and kind to others and connecting with others, well then sing that song, Leo. Maybe now is the time to sort of transform that and start to begin that shift and change, right? And so if that's how you sing your song or that's where you find your joy, Nightingale will help you to find that and help you to execute that in a way that reconnects you. And in that reconnection, I believe that we find, at least for the Leos, some sense of healing. And that takes me back to that whole Florence Nightingale thing that I'm on. At least it's not Nurse Ratched, right, Leo? Okay, so let's get into this. The center card is where you guys are centered at for the majority of the month. It gives me insight into not only what you're operating, where you're operating from, but also what you could potentially be creating for the future. So let's see what's going on. So we have the Nine of Pentacles. Not mad at this card. This is about self-sufficiency. This is about independence. This is about having everything that we need and knowing it, not necessarily needing the support of any outside sources. We actually might find ourselves being a support to outside sources, right? And that's what I was saying about, whatever your song is this month, Leo, whatever it is that sort of you can bring to the table. There's also, like, I'll say this too about this little bird, because it's an air animal, right, of the air element. And it's also that sort of, and again, that air element too, air feeds fire, fire consumes air. And Leo being a fire sign, it's like, this is what you need. This is what you sort of, and again, that's that sort of healing, that feeding in a way, right? Feeding one's soul, feeding one's spirit. I also associate birds with the idea of spirit too. So there may be an opportunity for Leo to reconnect to that this month and be able to, but I also get this lightness or this sort of like joy from this little Nightingale, right? So there might be this new dawning of joy. We see this sort of light coming here around what was maybe a dark period for us. So look to the light, so to speak, and look to the changes that are coming. Sing them out, Leo. Focus your energy towards them and begin to sort of watch them take place, if that makes sense. So Nine of Pentacles in the center. It's Earth. Pentacles energy is Earth energy. I may need a little coffee while we do this. So. But it is a very grounded sign, a very grounded card. Very, I want to say the word complete is the feeling that I'm getting. So hopefully you guys are feeling this, or you're working from this sense of kind of feeling like your needs are met. You might even be able to meet the needs of others. Stable. You could be a support, a source of support for others at this time. And again, that's what I was saying about this Nightingale is. We might be finding ourselves reconnecting to our world and those in it in a way that we haven't been able to thus far. Maybe some of you have been vaccinated and you're like able to see your loved ones again. Whatever it is, I feel like we feel fulfilled. We feel good. Okay. And I like that this is here. I like that it's grounded. She's a very strong character to have here. So let's look at what our foundation is or what the past was. Sometimes this card kind of gives us an indication as to what sort of happened to let things be the way that they are today in the reading. Also, it can be the memory of this card that sort of, holds everything in place or drives everything into the future. And that's why we look at this card. So this card is the Eight of Swords. So she is kind of the opposite of how I'm seeing this Nine of Pentacles, right? When we look at her, I'll just show you this Nine of Pentacles. She's free and like loving, and look at, she's even got her falcon, but we'll call it a nightingale. She's got her bird on her hand. This woman is not free, okay? Mentally, we're talking about swords here. So we're talking about the mind, thoughts, worries, fears, feeling trapped, feeling as though, like maybe Leo looking through the, oh, sorry, my stomach just growled. Looking through the lens of lack, loss, restriction. That would be this Eight of Swords. It's not that it's a bad thing. We very well may have been restrained, or things may have been not as sort of wide open or accessible in the past for us as we would like or as we're used to. I feel like there's an expansion that takes place. It's almost like this is the same woman, right? So we're talking, and I'm just using this as an example, Leo, but we've got pre-vaccination, post-vaccination, or, during COVID, feeling restricted, I can't go anywhere, I'm stuck at home, that sort of thing. And now we're able to go outside, we're able to do again, we're able to feel so self-sufficient, we're able to feel sort of the effects of being our own sort of breadwinner in a way, or making sure that our needs get met. So there's a big shift that's taken place here where we've moved from a place of feeling maybe disempowered to empowered, right? What I want to say about this Eight of Swords is I don't necessarily, this is not the best card to have as a foundational card because she is sort of stuck. And it is like sort of this fight of the mind. But I do feel like this fight of the mind is from the past. We do have this castle in the background here. So it's like, even though she's blindfolded and can't see it, there was opportunity even in the past. We maybe just were missing it because we were so focused on what wasn't working in our life. And for each one of you, it may have been something that was different for you that wasn't working, but it was making you feel restricted. I feel like you've gotten beyond that or past that hurdle at this point. Certainly in the month of June, you should feel like you're beyond that hurdle. There's a fresh perspective. There's a newness as to maybe where we want to go, what we want to do, how we want to do it, right? And so there's opportunity here. With this here, my only worry is it's somewhat limiting, and I don't like it as far as in this position, but I want to look at the other cards because I want to see if this is going to affect us moving forward or not. This might be something that we're very much leaving in the past, and I hope that's the case, but sometimes this card can have influence over the now. So let's see what's going on in our spirit or soul. This is above us, what it wants us to reflect upon and look at. So this is the Page of Cups. Now, I love that this guy's up here because to me, he's one of the cards, he's probably my second favorite card of the deck. The Page of Cups would be the element of water and emotional stuff, right? That realm of emotions. But with the Page of Cups, he's like really the magical thinker of the deck. He is the one that thinks outside of the box, the one that is optimistic, that is sort of, connected to almost like a childlike joy, right? Some people might see him even as a slightly foolish or misunderstood. They don't necessarily see him in that way. I feel like this being in your spirit space says it's like time to have fun again. It's time to play again, not take things so seriously. To do what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, to do the things and seek out the things, the people, the activities that you love. At this time, that's sort of the desire that's going on inside of Leo right now. And we see that manifested physically through this Nine of Pentacles, right? Where we are able to provide ourselves with what we need this month. We are able to sort of feel secure this month. We're certainly not feeling the restrictions that we may have felt in the past. He's like, So it's almost like a varying degree as I look at this. It looks like a ladder to me as we're like our past, we were very restricted. Our now we are much less restricted. This guy is like almost like full on freedom just because I mean literally he's talking to a fish in a cup. Like he's almost borderline cuckoo, right? But I don't mean that for in that way. What I mean is this is about finding the magic in life again, finding the hope, finding the joy, finding the what's like enthusiasm again for life and emotionally connecting to that, right? Being able to reconnect to those aspects of who you are and have them back. So I like this here. It's interesting too. I like the evenness of we have cups, pentacles, and swords. So all kind of emotions, physical and mental, all kind of working together or having their fair role in all of this. So let's go to the outside influences and see what they are. These can be people, sometimes events or things more vague like belief systems or energies that are having an effect on us either positively or negatively during the month of June. So one of them is the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords would be about new ways of thinking, new ways of seeing things and being able to perceive things, new opportunities even. It can sometimes represent new contracts, things in writing, and that sort of an opportunity. So some of you might be experiencing some of that. It is usually celebratory, and aces usually come out of nowhere. So it could be like a windfall of some sort or an idea of some sort that either given to you by another person or that you maybe stumble upon within your own mind, Leo, that allows you to sort of open up and start a new path or start a new way of being in your environment, right? There is a truth to the Ace of Swords. There is an honesty to the Ace of Swords. There is a inspiration to the Ace of Swords that is quite powerful. And I think that it's a far cry from where you may have been in months past as far as where your mind has been at. So I would say jump at it, take it, run with it, enjoy it, allow it to sort of transform how you see, perceive, or deal with your environment moving forward through the month of June. And then the other card is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is about sort of letting go of the past, letting go of the things that emotionally hurt us, walking away from situations that no longer serve us. Some of you could have been dealing with a situation where you had to depart. This Eight of Swords could be that situation, maybe feeling stuck, trapped, pinned down, like things not really working in your favor. This is the month, this is the opportunity where you get to look at things through a different mindset, through a different set of thoughts and truths that will lead you out of this emotionally or any sort of heaviness or sadness that maybe you've been feeling. To me, this is the card about sort of taking the higher road, being the adult, kind of cutting your losses and getting out, right? But we're talking about this being an outside influence. So what I mean by that is that there's opportunities here for new pathways, new ways of thought to show us what's maybe not serving us emotionally or what hasn't been serving us emotionally and how to sort of move away from it and move towards something that is more beneficial, more open-minded, more joyous, more free, more happy. Does that make sense? And so I think that this is a good month for Leo to really shift away from any stresses, worries, or upset that you've been maybe dealing with up until this point, and to really allow yourself the opportunity to find new, I don't know, ways of like looking at things, new truths about where you are in your life, where you fit in your life, and then begin to sort of sing those truths, see those truths, walk towards those truths, releasing whatever no longer is in alignment with those truths. I hope that makes sense. So the next card is the potential outcomes card. This card tells me a bit about sort of how things are going to end up for the majority of you by month's end. It is not set in stone. It is potential in the sense that if this is a negative card, we can use it as a warning to make choices and changes now to affect the outcome so that it does not come to pass. But if it is a positive card, we can take heart in the fact that we're naturally heading towards it. Okay, so let's see what this is. We have the sun. This is your card, guys. This is Leo, the only major arcana that you guys have. So you're going to finish out the month in my opinion, you're going to finish out the month in a very big and beaming leonine way, right? We're talking about getting ourselves back to what we know, what's familiar, what feels comfortable, what's connected, where we can, be of service to others if we haven't felt like we've been able to, if we felt restricted or isolated. That's no longer kind of going on. I do want to say to some of my Leos, don't take everything that I say word for word. I don't want you running out there and sticking your tongue down anybody's throat, Leo, but be careful. But I really see that this is like an opportunity for Leo to not only reconnect physically, but also emotionally at a spiritual level to, yes, it might be a new way of how the world is or how we are in our world, but it feels definitely by month's end much more comfortable, much more positive, much more affirmative, much more I want to say back to normal, whatever normal may be. We're all sort of in a new normal right now. But to me, this is like Leo knows what to do by month's end. It comes naturally to you. As far as that being the sun card, the association with the sign of Leo says to me that this is going to feel very much like home, comfortable, positive, and you'll be sort of ideally like beaming and giving of yourself to others and even to your own self. There is a transformation that's taken place from this Eight of Swords of the past to the sun that we'll see at the end of the month. And I just want to say that will be a very positive and powerful transition for you. Let me just look at this for 1 minute. The sun also, I will say this too, can be associated with the truth too. And we see this Ace of Swords here. Some of you might be moving to some sort of a truth that you may find this month, and it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. But I get a feeling with this Eight of Cups and this Eight of Swords that the struggle has been real for you, or previously has been real, but may continue to be real a little bit throughout the month. But just keep doing what you know to be true to you. Listen to your heart and your spirit, and allow yourself to sort of be the strong presence that you are. Provide for yourself first and foremost, and then for others. By month's end, everything will all sort of make sense and feel right in the world, if that makes sense. All right, that is your forecast, Leo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in your own private reading for the month of June, please feel free to contact me at the Facebook business page. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel on YouTube. And I look forward to seeing you guys next month. I will be back in a little bit to do Sagittarius and then Aries. And hopefully, if I can get them done, I will try and do the Earth signs today too. If not, I will try and do them this week. All right, have a great day, Leo. Take care. Bye-bye.